Hello everyone. Good evening. I'm Sébastien, and this is basically the first stream I'm doing on the Pixelogic, so I'm really happy. Yeah. Yeah. See you. That's cool. Yeah, like one of the first thing, like since you saw like the title, I detailed printed, treated 3D printed collectibles. Sorry about that. Like I guess it's the nerves are actually just starting to to come up. But yeah, basically it's just like I'm like from my background, like I got nothing to do with like 3D print. Basically, I'm an artist at the character artist at Ubisoft Quebec since yeah, I think 2 years ago. But yeah, I've been like in video games for quite a while, and basically, and I did like movies before that, so roughly around 10 to 12 years. And yeah, basically like the new thing right now, it's like the all the 3D printing and the fact that you can do pose model, which I love video games, but doing T-pose, it's after a while it's cool that we do like something in pose. Like I always like been drawing like traditionally for such a long time, and one of the things that I always liked was the gesture, and that's something that we kind of lost with the T-pose and the characters. So basically, this project, it's a way for me to try to get back at that, and you'll see like the way I work. It's not. I don't think it's like the usual kind of way to work. For me, it's just like the basically just a free way to work. Because most of the time I don't have like a clear design. I got like a huge reference page that I'm gonna show you like later, but usually I just like go ahead and it's just my feel, and I'm someone that really likes like strong silhouettes, even like in pose. Well, maybe like even more in pose, because I can clearly see now what the silhouette looks like, and from there I'll create detail instead of going like T-pose and just posing it. So yeah, so that's basically my background. I don't know if you guys have any questions about that, but yeah, thanks guys thanks Kyle, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna try out like new things. Basically, like one of the cool thing that would be just for you guys when you follow me along, if you want to sculpt at the same time, that's perfectly fine. I think that would be cool, like to actually just enjoy that little time together, because yeah, if everything like my schedule is usually fully packed, but I mean like if I can sculpt like every Thursday night at the same time that we got right now every week, then that would be cool. That would be like some kind of a gathering, together, and just to enjoy sculpting. And then after that, if you wanna tag me or something in your images for me, like to see what you actually did during this session, that would be really awesome. And yeah, so we'll just go chill, and if you got any questions, feel free. I just wanted to show you like a glimpse. I've been like doing it for quite a while, like on my channel, but since it's the first time, then I'm gonna show you maybe like just a background of the model, where I want to go. Basically, I'm just gonna be iterating the same model over and over again up until I'm satisfied, and I'm gonna be experimenting with like quite a bit of yeah, thanks for the follow. And yeah, I'm gonna be experimenting quite a bit of the like new tools. One of the tools that I'm just gonna give you like a small hint of what I might try like eventually would be stuff like real flow, which is like a fluid kind of dynamics. And yeah, basically maybe like the character would have like some goo or something. I might try to go simulate that, or yeah, basically I got so many pipelines that I want to try out, so this will be like a good time to do R&D at the same time. So if we look at our model, basically what I did when I started wasn't clear what I wanted to go with, but at least I wanted to nail out the pose. So I'm just going to show you that should be the model partially. I'm just gonna see if I can reveal the rest of the model, because there's supposed to be another part. Yeah. So this is like a really rough sketch of the idea of the model I wanted to try out for print. I know it's like it's kind of really ambitious, but you know, that's the thing, you know, I wanted to have fun, and it's like an excuse to do like a pose model. And I did like mini pose, like just a quick sketch and in a pose like this. And basically that's the one that I really preferred. Right now, like the focus is mainly on this girl. That's one of the thing, like I'm a hardcore fan of like Metal Gear Solid and all like the bosses and stuff like that. So I wanted to create like some kind of bosses that would, you know, be the kind of design I would like. So this is just like a rough idea. Basically it's just like this armor with like venom kind of claws. Like basically she would actually infect like creatures or beasts and then take control over or something, you know. I kind of like to have, you know, like kind of a backstory. It gives like purpose to the character. And so that's why she got like all those tentacles. Maybe at some point like I'll add, I don't know yet, but maybe like claws or like just a syringe like going out, and this would actually like stick into the model. And that's where, you know, when I was talking about real flow and the fact that it's having like goo or some kind of, you know, liquid like spilling over the beast, that would be probably like the idea. So yeah, so every time that I'm gonna be like doing like like a high-end kind of collectible or print, I'd like to have like some really big kind of technical challenge, something that will challenge, you know, how we should tackle that. So right now that's gonna be it. So right now I'm just gonna go back to my sleeve that I had just before, and I'm gonna show you where I'm at right now with my model. So basically, like I mentioned, there's like so many layers on top, so I apologize for that. Yeah, I hope you like it, but yeah, I'm gonna slowly try to remove some of them. I got like a kind of an old computer, well, versus the one I will get at work, and usually it's like kind of pretty slow. But the idea is like I want to do like maybe 2 or 3 head variants because they just look cool, and they won't be like nothing super complicated. They will just be like one with a mask, and I'm gonna try to show you that. Just give me a second. And I'm just gonna hide this. Okay. This is some of the parts that I started to retopo, and to be honest with you, like I started like to do the, you know, the retopo, to have like clean meshes. But I tried it like in pose like this, and man, it's such a nightmare. It's because like I go back to max and I do like, you know, half of the part and then symmetrize it, but symmetrize it in a pose. So you see like there's an offset everywhere. So, you know, at some point I will probably, like I saw like one of the videos that I think Marco Plo from Chaos Masons did back in Japan. And basically the way he was like doing his art surface stuff would be like you would actually recenter everything, symmetrize with the zero measure with the symmetry on, and that would be like, you know, the same sides, and then you would just like, you know, start sculpting on it, and once he's happy, like let's just say like an helmet, then he would actually go and pose it, which makes like a lot more sense. But once more, you know, I'm just like trying out new stuff and to see if it sticks, because that's one way to do it. But sometimes it's cool to experiment, like just to see, like, you know, might not be the most efficient way to do it, but if I feel more comfortable doing it this way, then yeah, that's one of the thing, like, you know, like yeah, it's cool that you guys like all the details, but that's one of the thing, because at the same time those projects, they're meant to be to challenge me. And one of the thing that I always find kind of sad is like you know, at work I can push like my models so far, but I mean in the end I still got like time constraints, and because of that, like sometimes there's like stuff that I would really like to do, but because of the fact that I only got like 4 weeks or something to do like a complete model plus texture plus remeshing plus everything, it's just there's so much you can do. So after that, like I still feel like I could have done like a lot more if I had like more weeks. So that's an excuse to push it further. So just give me a second. I'm trying like to find. I'm supposed to have like a neck piece to this helmet. I try like to clean up my my meshes on my Z tool and just before this stream, and wait, I'm just gonna. I'll find it. There's like a neck piece, and I just feel like if I'm gonna show you the helmet, I'd rather like show you the thing, but it's weird. It's weird. It's not. It's something like that, but that's not it. Bear with me, guys. Oh, I think it might be. Oh, that's it. Find it. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys are actually have you. I don't know if you guys probably know Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. Basically, that's one of the inspiration. One of the variants will be, because you see like all those parts, I try like to design them so they could actually slide. The basically what I want to do is just like to have like the whole. I'm trying like to show you on my monitor what I want to do, but that doesn't make any sense with my hands. But I mean like if I show you like this piece, it's gonna be lifting up, and then this would move like on each side, and basically this would just open up, and then it would reveal the face underneath. And well, if I just first off, that's one version, and then there's like one without this, which is going to be revealing only of the. That's one of the things. Like my Z tools, I apologize, they're like so messy because I try out like so many things that sometimes it doesn't make sense. And then there would be like one version with the mouth. And I'm supposed to have like some hair in there, because that's one of the things. Like I felt like even if we see like quite a bit of the silhouette of the female body, I still wanted like to have this like represent in her face, in her head. And if I would just put like a helmet on, then I would kind of lose that female. So just having the lips and the hair sticking out from the back, which I think it's this one. Yeah, right now it's kind of really messy, but you still get the idea. And then without the mask. Oops. And one of the great thing about doing it in a stream instead of doing it alone is just like you guys will be able to participate in the whole process, and because that's the thing. Like sometimes I may be wondering which haircut we should do for the character, and then you would be able like to give me your input, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, I got, like you see, like I got like different kind of version. Like this one, I kind of liked it. It kind of remind me of Mad Max, like the main boss. So Thanks, guys. It's yeah, it's I didn't really follow with the chat, but yeah, I'll try to ask to answer a few questions before I start like going ahead. Maybe like tonight, I'll go light. I don't want to. Since I'm kind of nervous to be honest with you guys. I'm just like usually I do like those morning streams like kind of just after I woke up, so I'm kind of sleepy and not really like half dizzy in that there. But yeah, it seems like in the evening I need like just to relax and sculpt. But yeah, I'll what I was planning to do would be working on the legs. And once more, I'm still looking for my well, I'll just answer like a few questions and then try to look for my subtool. And I will definitely need to rename those. Yeah, yeah, I know, but it's I don't know. But I think it's a good kind of, I'm nervous, but that's a good nervous. That's the kind of one that usually that means a good feeling. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it's a cool thing. So yeah, one of the question asked, how much time do I spend on a model? That's the thing, that's the that's just the kind of scary part. Like usually it can take quite a bit of time. Like like previously I made like a merman like in pose. I sculpted like everything in pose without any symmetry. I just wanted like to see like how far could I push it, more like in a kind of traditional kind of like clay approach. Because that's the thing, like I did some clay, but yeah, I wanted to see like just to once more, like I was trying to put like a technical challenge on myself just to see how I would actually interpret it. So yeah, so basically like that model, I think it took almost like 8 months. But when I say 8 months, I was like only like sculpting during lunchtime, which is like what, like 30 to 45 minutes. And yeah, some weeks I would only sculpt like like twice a week. Other weeks I would sculpt like for 5 days. But yeah, usually the number of hour, like that's one of the thing, like I install like an app called Rescue Time. It's supposed to keep track of my time, and that's one of the thing that even for me I'd like to to know, because when I'm at work, like they come up with a concept and they ask you like, oh, how much time will you spend on that, and I'm just like every time it's just like a shot in the dark. So yeah, so even for me I would like to, but yeah, I mean overall full time, seriously it's so hard to tell, because like I said, like I'm not doing this for time's sake, but it's just more like to push my skill. And as long as it's not perfect, well, not perfect but to my like, I will just refine it. And from what I saw, like, and that's really like a personal kind of thing, but it's usually the fact that I always work in the morning. I wake up at like 5 and I work up until 6:30, and every day, every morning during the weekday, and it gives me like always like a fresh approach. And sometimes I don't know, like maybe it's an artist thing, I don't know, but like you're not inspired like in the morning to just starts to sculpt, or I don't know, like I'm looking at my model and I got like no clue where to go with that, or my reference page for some reason, which is like gigantic, which I'm gonna show you right now. It's like, yeah, it's and that's I even cut out like the top part because it's like all female face. But yeah, if you zoom in, I can't remember like how many pixels does it got, but I mean it's freaking huge, like female bodies, and then even like other really eye detail kind of sculpt. And basically, yeah, that's one of the things, like I that might look like a little bit scary, but basically that's how I like to work, like to be like inspired like quite a bit. So so like when I sculpt, I can just go ahead and try new things, and yeah, it's just like it gives me like how can I say this, like, yeah, just if I'm not inspired, I can move on. And usually what happens is just like I see something really cool, I'm just like, oh, okay, maybe I can put that in, and once I start sculpting, I'm just like, oh, I see like another shape, or okay, maybe if I push this, like the silhouette will change, and then in the end, like I get like probably something completely new. But at least I'm never stuck on something, saying, asking myself, oh man, that design choice doesn't work at all, and I don't know how to change it. I don't have a clue. And the worst thing for me is actually getting out of ZBrush, getting out of my reference page, and go back on Google and then start looking for it, because I'm just wasting time, So and even like that reference page, maybe like at the start of the project, like 1/3 of that reference page, and I don't know, maybe after 2 months I went back and I collected like like mini reference, and I just added them to the page, and yeah, and I just moved like that along, and up until every time that I see something cool, and I'm like, okay, maybe I could add it. That would be cool. Yeah, you did you did see the Kojima Luden in there. That's one of the thing, because like all of those models like are made by Hideo Kojima, not sorry, that I mean Hideo Kojima is actually the game director, but it's Yuji Shinkawa, which is actually the main designer on the Metal Gear Solid before he moved on with on Death Stranding. So yeah, any other questions? Oh yeah, the mad caps. Yeah. Right now it's still limited. Like I don't have like all my mad caps, but I can't remember the exact name. But yeah. Well, I can show you. Like usually, like my favorite ones are like those three, like L. But that's the thing. Like I've been collecting them for for such a long time, and at the same time, like I work, you know, along all the years, I work with so many different artists, other character artists, and usually, one of the best practice is just like, when you meet someone, you're just like, hey, what's up, man? Show me your brushes, and then he starts sharing his brushes with you, and then you're just like, oh, but I'm gonna share my brushes with you too, and then we do the same thing with materials and all that stuff. So after a while, you just get like gather so much, and that's the thing. Like right now, I didn't update it with like my all the brushes and materials collected, but I think I got like a 3 times the amount that I got over here, and then there's like really good ones. But yeah, for a year, like I was kind of lazy, but yeah, in the upcoming streams I'll try like to update my materials. But yeah, usually the one that I use quite a bit are like those two undo muds. Maybe you can look on Google or something, like maybe you'll be able to find them. I think they're supposed to be all free, but yeah, made by different artists. I don't really make my own mad caps, which is probably a shame, but yeah, I just feel like there's like so many good mad caps out there, and from time to time I kind of like to switch between the mad caps. It's just like I know it's like it's nothing new for many of the sculptors, but it's just like instead of since we can't actually just flip it, well, actually we could, because now it's in pose, but usually in T pose there's no way you can actually just flip it like a 2D concept artist would do. So just switching the mad caps from one to another usually like gives a chance to refresh. So I'm just gonna try to find my body, which is I think this one, and like you see, like it's really messy, but that's the whole purpose. And I'm just gonna go in solo just to go faster, and I'm gonna hide some of the parts because today we'll be working on the legs. And once more, I'll just go ahead and have fun. And like I said, I don't really care if it's messy for now. It's just gonna be that's another thing. I'm gonna be using shortkeys quite a bit, but like you see, like at the bottom, that's pretty much all the brushes that I use. Yeah, but yeah, by the way, like my UI might be a little bit crazy. Like that's another thing. Like along the years, like at some point I was like putting short keys on my keys on my keyboard, but since the, I feel like the hotkeys, the default ones from ZBrush are actually pretty good. I was like kind of overriding them, and then I was like looking at tutorials or other artists, and they would say, "Oh, I press like Y to do this," and I'm pressing Y, and then there's like a brush that I put a shortcut on, start to highlight, and I'm just like, "Oh, okay, what's the alternative for that function with another key?" So yeah, so right now, like, instead of for the brushes, I use like the numbers from 1 to 0 at the top of my keyboard. But for the rest, like, I maybe like the only difference is like the IQ curve. That's one of the things that I kind of really liked. Like Damien, who did like the damn standard in the last Pixelogic, he did like he was like talking about that. That's something that I've been like using in in California. I used to work like for a while for a scanning company. Really super talented guys. I think kind of um yeah, basically, yeah, what I was saying was just like I like sometimes to go to California to work at the studio over there. I was still living in Montreal, but yeah, from time to time I would go over there, and the guys over there showed me like that IQ curve, and usually like I don't use it that often with other brushes, but with Move and IQ curve, man, that's a killer. To be honest, it's just like to create spikes, or just like to almost like with a needle. I mean, that is so cool. It works so well. I use it like all the time. And yeah, that's one of the secrets from the trade. So I'm talking and I don't really pay any attention of what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm just gonna be warming up like that. Just refining what's there. So it's basically what I want to do is like to have like this kind of, all those bars will be like kind of harder kind of materials, and then probably like a latex or something in between. So I'll probably do like something like that, like for in between, like just to give the feeling it's cloth or something. That's what I did with the arm and the top part. So you're saying my mic is muting, or is it still happening, or? Yeah, if at some point you don't hear anything, feel free to ask. By the way, like, does the sound is actually loud enough? Well, no. It started with Dynamesh, but not anymore, because I did like a like a zero measure on top. Because one of the things that I don't like with Dynamesh, of course, like at some point you will reach like the limit of my Dynamesh is actually right at the bottom over here, but yeah, the resolution is going to be at the limit at 4K, and yeah, from there you can go up, and usually like sometimes I will still need detail. I only use the Dynamesh when I start with to pull off form. Whoops. But right now I know that even if I'm pulling my stuff out, I won't be like pulling everything. It won't be like be pulled like a lot, you know. So it's gonna be just a little bit, just like more like surface detail. So hello. Oh, that's my girlfriend coming out. What is it? Sorry guys, I wanted to show you my girlfriend, but she seems to be too shy to come up, so it's alright. She forgot that I was like streaming tonight, so it's girl night shows. Like basically she's watching her TV shows or her girly TV shows, so that's my guy time in my superb man cave. By the way, I didn't tell you that, but you're in my basement right now, so it cannot get more man cave than that. And it's freezing, by the way. I don't know if it's winter where you are right now, but over here we got like tons of snow. Oh yeah. No, I don't think it's so pro. It's it's a show like I think it's the same writers who did like Six and the City, you know, like the typical girly show, you know. Sorry, you know, no offense, like I didn't mean it like a bad thing, but it's just not my thing. Yeah, no, I mean Oprah is cool. I mean, she's a super positive person, and that's probably what I like the most about her. Okay, I'm just gonna, because one of the thing, I don't know if it's because of the stream, but it seems like to be lagging quite a bit. And yeah, another thing that you probably noticed, like right now my foot over here is actually rendered, and this one looks like super ugly. And of course, like you probably, I guess you know you got like a good idea that I will just like duplicate it at some point. That's another thing, like one of the thing, like yeah, maybe I can ask you guys like your opinion on this. I'm still in solo mode. Yeah, see, like I did like some kind of a knee pad for this side, and this side I was like thinking about leaving it like empty just to bring back the human body. And that's one of the thing, like I'm kind of super into it, like having contrast, but like contrast at every level. I mean, it could be like mechanical versus organic, or you know, or just like any type of contrast, like detail without detail, or you know, like the noisemaker, like stuff like that. But yeah, but yeah, do you think like it should be cool to be symmetrized, or yeah? Yeah, you bet. Man cave is always freezing. Yeah, that's how you define if you're strong enough to survive, you know, in life. You go through the cold, and then that's it. So you guys are sculpting right now, or you just watching me rambling about cold, you know, like cold caves, cold main caves, or? Oops. Yeah, one of the things, see, like I did like maybe I'll bring back that detail just to give it like a sci-fi twist. I will. Yeah, you're in for a treat tonight. Like there's another first-time streamer, which is Oscar, just coming after me. So you'll see like a lot of cool things. The only thing I'm not sure, I think like he's doing it in Spanish, so maybe if you want to practice your Spanish. But I'm sure he's a cool guy. I don't know him like personally, but I'm sure he's a cool guy. Yeah, one of the things that you'll probably see is like me putting detail, removing it, putting on, removing it. I just hope it's not too boring. It's just like, yeah, sometimes it's I always try to treat it as a sketch. And one of the things that I do, I don't know if it's a common thing for you guys as well, but I mean, a sketch for me, like I try to put as less value as I can in a sketch. And I'm not talking about like the tone of the as worthless. So I'm not afraid to experiment and just break it if I need to. And that's the thing, like I don't want to hold up like it's it's so precious, you know. I don't want to ruin my my design or whatever. It's just like, to me, that's not like an efficient way to work. Like most of the time I find like really cool design just by playing around, because you know, the thing that I tell myself is just like, if I'm playing in that region and changing those parts, there's something that is bothering me. And see, like how I'm using the, you won't like see me like press the IQ curve because it's mapped on my A key, but you'll just see it like pop up, and that's when I'm using the, like I said, like the needle move to move my stuff. Yeah, one of the things that I like about, you know, sci-fi stuff, usually it's, you got an angle, a lot of angles, like art angles, because you don't find them as often in nature. So it, to me, it feels more. Yeah, I'm not sure about it. You can follow me outside of Pixologic. I got like a Facebook page where I post like mini tools or other artists or stuff that I really like related to CG on my yeah, the Facebook page is called Art of Seb, and it's I think, yeah, I think it's just like at the bottom of the stream. I don't know if you see like there's a bar with like key names. Just typing in one of those names depending on where you want to follow me. But yeah, the one I kind of update more often is my Facebook. If not, like my morning streams are on the Giroux sculpt on not Pixologic but Twitch. Man, there's so many websites out there. It's confusing. But yeah, you can follow me there like every morning. You know, like I said, like I'm, you know, I got kids, so that's why I sculpt so early in the morning. It's usually I start around 5:50. But yeah, if you can't make it, then no worries. You can post on my Art of Seb page or reply in a comment or whatever. Don't be scared to reach out. Oh yeah, thanks for the follow. Yeah, right now like I'm experimented, but see, like, you know, that's one of the reasons why my reference page is so hardcore. It's you know, like this right now, I get the feeling I'm starting to run in circles because I'm just like moving points around. Of course I'm like talking with you guys at the same time, so it's like I just need like to go back into the mood of and yeah, maybe like I'm because I'm nervous, I'm too chatty, I don't know, and I'm not focusing enough on my work. But I'll just try to clean. No, okay, thanks for thanks Kingsley for the links. So I'm not too boring for the first session. Are you disappointed? Do you want to cry? Are you happy and you want to cheer? Let me know. Yeah. One of the things that I'd like to do, even like in the future, would be to upgrade this machine, because right now it's man, it's so old that sometime right now I think I actually killed off all my quick save, or yeah, I'm just gonna boost them up because you know it would suck to actually lose my work, but at the same time I mean, when it quick save when I'm streaming, it takes forever. So yeah, so I will just take the risk. Crazy like that. I'm just trying like stuff with patterns and design, because once more I'm just gonna bring one of my sleeves. It's crazy, yeah. I did the reorder of my subtools to see better and not look for my stuff, but yeah, I think I'll need to rename it, because right now I feel so lost. And you know, at the same time, it's been like what, like 1 month since I went back in on this model. So okay, that's one. See, like for this, like I did like some kind of a triangle pattern, and maybe that would be cool to bring it back. Come on, the best artist, come on. I'm so far from it. It's just like, man, you look at the people out there, I mean, I'm just barely making it. It's but I think when it comes down, like for like to me, like my favorite artists, like other sculptors, it really comes down to like passion, how much they're passionate about their craft. It feels like that's how they put the mileage, but at the same time, that's how you can clearly see if it's been done with passion, then it shows. Yeah. I did like some molly for the leg, and I want to see if I can bring an attachment. Yeah, for tonight I don't think there's gonna be much going on, because I feel like I'm still adapting to this thing. So yeah, so I did like one like this, and then one should be on the leg. Okay, yeah, there's one there. So have you guys ever tried to do a 3D print in the past, or doing one currently? I'd like to know if there's stuff you can actually share with me, your secrets. Hi, Mr. Clown, or M Clown. Yeah, if you got any question about my UI and what's the option that I just activated, once more, feel free to ask. It will be my pleasure to answer. Oh, Mr. Clown. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, sometimes I'm amazed how some people got like the coolest names. Yeah, see, like one of the things that I like about that clay tube brush, but you know, clay build up, I think it's pretty much the same thing. It said, you know, it can build up on top of what you're doing, but I like that my Wacom, so. But yeah, it's one of the things that I like the most. It's like the happy accident. Usually, you know, I'll sculpt quite a bit, you know, with it, and then I'll start finding, you know, happy accidents. Once more, trying designs. What I like to have, like, is you know, I have this thing. I don't know, like it's gonna be probably like some kind of muscle fiber. You know, we'll define it together. That's going in, you know, the leg, and yeah, I'm gonna try like to do like just like if it's digging deep into the leg. Yeah, and right now, you know, you probably noticed like since I'm working on all the body at the same time, like I'm kind of limited with my subdivisions because right now I'm pretty sure like I've reached like the max, but since it's like on the whole body, like right now I'm trying like to sculpt and like you can see like there's definitely a lack of polygons, which is okay because like I've said, like I'm still sketching, so I'm experimenting and I don't need like a lot of definition, and at the same time it gives me, it still keeps like that kind of artifact effect. Well, not really artifact effect, but it's more like you know, just in the strokes or the fact that it's like not well defined, maybe I'll see something, but if it's too crisp, I will not see it, and if it's too low res, then you know, of course I will lose all kind of definition to actually see that. But yeah, sometimes it's yeah, and moving away from the model is always good as well. That might be too strong. Oh yeah, nice. You made a Wolverine for a collectible? You'll need like to share that with me. I want to see it. I'm like super into everything that it's collectible and I detail. Is it for a specific company or you did it like for yourself? That's one of the things that I like to do sometimes. It's just like to do that kind of crease around. So because after that I'll be able, like, let's just say like I do this. Around. It's just like the inverted an inverted dam sander. But it's just like if I'm doing fabric, it feels more like it's yeah, like if it's a piece of cloth that's been stitched to the suit. So once more, it feels a little bit more man-made and less sci-fi. But yeah, I think for the next time, maybe I'll start like splitting my parts. It's always like a tough decision for me because I like having the mesh as a whole, and you know, like I sculpt, I just like go along and I'm not restricted. I can just sculpt wherever I want on the body, but oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out just after the stream. Did you do the keys, like the insert keys yourself, and all the technical process after the sculpting, or it was another artist who actually went and do that? If I could do a stream in French, yeah. Well, you know, I guess if there's enough people who wanna hear me in French, yeah, sure, I could do that. It's just I don't know if it would be on the Pixologic one, on the Pixologic channel though, but it might be like on my private Twitch channel. But yeah, sure, why not? I mean, if you guys want to hear my delicate French voice, I would be okay with that. Well, I hope you guys would be more okay than me, but I hear myself all the time, so. Another thing that I try to keep in mind for her, it's like it's a female, so you know, I'm talking about my delicate voice, but to be serious, like one of the thing is like I like if it's a if it's a female design, I try to do stuff not too bulky. It's more refined and thin, and well, it always depends on which kind of female character I want to do, but usually like female traits, or you know, the old female body, it's a lot more I wouldn't say refined, but really like delicate. And I try like in my detail, like let's just say like this thing, like you know, it finishes and it's like kind of thick at the bottom, which is like kind of bulgy or just massive, and that I want like the female to feel. I would rather like have a female that feels like a lot more delicate, but I'll just try to do that in the design of the pieces. So even like in the main silhouette, of course I'll do it, but yeah, even in the design I will try to keep that. It's I keep like I do like I actually have like put like a lot of thought into the whole process. That actually it's something that, you know, of course you don't need to do, but I just enjoy it. You know, it's just like I'm always trying to see. That's the thing. Like at work when I'm working on games at Ubisoft, it seems, you know, where like even as an industry or a character artist, like you always try to push yourself like further, but at some point, let's just say like you kind of you know, you understand the concept, you can do the concept, the execution is good, like the quality of the execution is good, you know, it seems like you're always trying like to push yourself a little bit more further. I mean, you know, how can I improve like the character or the design? And I think sometimes it's little stuff like that that will pay off like long term. So and that's definitely something I like to do, you know, like for me it's but once again, it's really like a personal thing. It's not something that Ubisoft teach us or anything like that, but it's just like one thing that I really like, you know, the most about doing characters for games. It's really when I receive a concept, I always try, you know, I of course I'll chat with the concept artist who did it, but I mean like I'll try to take the concept and push it further, I feel it's like my kind of duty, you know, like as a as an artist, like just not do like one to one. Some artists actually do that, and it's perfectly fine. But for me, it's I feel like it's, you know, I'm I try like to see like the strong points of the concept, and yeah, I just try to bring it like to another level, because like for me it's like super entertaining to do that first, so it's kind of a selfish reason. But the other reason is because it's I think it shows like in the end. I think sometimes of course you need to balance the time you got like to do that, but I mean like I think it's a cool it's a cool and a refreshing way to tackle character design. See, so it's like that. So like another thing that I kind of like. Tell me guys if I'm chatting too much, but it's just like, yeah, I'm so passionate about the whole thing. It's yeah, one of the things that that I'm seeing right now, it's like since I'm like super strong on silhouette, and you'll see that like coming back often quite a bit. It's just like, you see how this piece is actually sticking out, but this one is not, and that's why like I try like to push the shapes. So it might be like easy to say, oh okay, but it's only a piece in the front. You won't actually see it anywhere else. But one of the thing that I really like about usually design, and I think that might be like a rule of design. I'm not sure where I heard that, but that definitely like stick to me was usually in design they do like a lot of repetition. So because like with repetition you get more like a uniform design. You feel like it's all part of the same, instead of having like an armor like done with different design and on different parts. At some point it will probably look like it's a mix up of different types of armor, and if you want to keep like a uniformity in the design, you'll try to keep your pieces. So let's just say like if I design like this piece like really really well and it's really strong silhouette, it would be easy to reuse it all the way around. I think that's one of the main reasons why kit bashing works so well, because you're just like and sometimes like just shifting a couple of things can repurpose the thing, and it doesn't even stand out at you. So that's one of the things that I did was like for the pattern that I had like on the knee, like this thing. I actually like reused it. I just like brought like a duplicate and I kind of reproduced the same kind of pattern of pads on the elbow of the big sleeve, just to have like repetition. And it's gonna be the same thing with those things, like I will try like to keep them all around. What I'm modeling is like it's a Metal Gear kind of a chick. Yeah, maybe I apologize for the guys already seen that, but I'll just wait. I just rename this Pick Me, so at least when I'm be working on it, it's gonna be easier to find. It's this chick. Oh, supposed to have like a wait. She's not like a barely topless or bottomless. It's she's dressed, yeah, yeah, and she got like tentacles coming back from the back. I won't actually show the whole, maybe you can rewatch the stream, but or every time that will be sculpting on the Pixologic channel or my channel, you'll see it quite often, and you'll see it like come together. So, but yeah, I'll just go back to her. Yeah, I know it's a lazier in T-pose, but I like the challenge. That's the thing, you know, like because one of the other hidden constraints that I put on myself would be that's the thing, like I really like the traditional approach, and one of the reasons why I started like with a mesh like this in pose was that I really wanted to have like the musculature reflects you know, the pose. So I even like took like a lot of reference of female uh, models, whatever, you know, like female photos in that sign kind of similar pose, just to nail like all of that thing, you know. I just wanted like to try it out because like I mentioned like at the start of the stream, it's just I do T-pose all the time like at work, and I'm kind of fed up for my own projects, and I kind of like having like new you know, challenges. So that's one of the main reason. The other is like you know, in a way you're like definitely right, because like I mentioned, like when I was starting the stream, I saw like I think it's a stream that's been done like this summer by the Chaos Mason and Marco Plouf, who with Pixelogic, I think in Japan, and basically he was saying that he was um, sorry, I'm just looking for. He was like showing, you know, how you would actually sculpt like Iris part, and basically you would, let's just see, he sculpted and pose like this super rough, and then after that you will bring it like a straight, and then do a symmetry, like a zero mesh with symmetry to be even on both sides, and then you would sculpt it and then just replace it at the right spot. So that might be like something I'm gonna be like doing for this model. So you guys are you working in some kind of industry, or you're just like a passionate modelers or a student, or you want to tell me a little bit about yourselves? No, no, it's not the boss. It's gonna be more like a cyborg, but yeah, and for some surprising reason, she's not part of my reference. So, but yeah, I like to have like you know, like how can I say that? Like personality wise, I would love to have like some kind of personality like the boss. Okay, jewelry, nice, nice. See, that's something that, you know, it's kind of super interesting, because to me it feels kind of a, maybe it's not new, but like for me it feels like pretty new, like the fact that sculptors, well, jewelry sculptors are using ZBrush. Maybe it's been like this for quite a while, but yeah, that's an industry that I don't know a lot of. But it's cool. I'm glad you're here. Oh, cool. French student in animation. Nice. Freelance. Yeah, yeah, you bet. I mean, I've just read about the, being isolated. Yeah, that's one of the main reason why I don't want to go like full freelance, not work in an office. I am I like people way too much. Like if I would go for freelance, I would probably like go with other guys. I wouldn't like just sit there, alone. It's I love this, but it's just yeah, it's too lonely for me. You're pretty courageous. But I know that like there's like a lot of people doing it and they're like perfectly fine with it, which is like to me amazing. Trying new design once more. Yeah, I'm not sure. You guys got like any favorite sculptors out there? Like ZBrush sculptors? I feel like there's like so many like artists in 2D, and sometimes I feel like I'm kind of surprised like we're not a lot more of sculptors. Like I'm talking about like books and conferences and stuff like that. It feels like the 2D guys got are a lot more than us. Maybe it's easier to pick up like drawing rather than sculpting. I don't know. And I might be wrong at the same time. I don't have, it's not like if I really like kept track of that. So that's why I'm trying to do my part with this Twitch streams. I feel like there's not many resources or people you could talk to. So yeah. So if you feel if you got like any questions about process or anything like that, like it would be my pleasure to answer. But right now I know it's like it's nothing too crazy. It's more it's just like sculpting with my brush and not much going on. But eventually you'll see me like use pretty much everything around the UI, and feel free to ask.
I'm just trying like to find like another thing to for those to actually get into. And yeah, you know, I've been given like a few thoughts of you know, like the what I'm gonna do with the model. I was talking earlier about splitting the whole thing, and I'm thinking I'm gonna leave it. You know, it's gonna be like noisy like this, but at least you know when I will be splitting it will be when I'm like sure of my design, and that's something that I'm still like defining right now, and so that's why it's probably better to just keep the because I can just sculpt like everywhere on the body, and at the same time it's fun. I'm gonna I did like a pad just to hide her crotch, and okay, I'm just gonna this. Like I mentioned before, I'm not really scared of breaking something that doesn't work. I just want to be sure I'm my end. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was just checking if the local symmetry was like a because one of the thing that I you know I've tried to use quite a bit of you know often, and it's the usable posable symmetry. But the thing is, like every time that I did that, I actually broke the model because like in my workflow, like I use quite a bit of Dynamesh and ZBrush, and I think those two guys don't like posable symmetry, and yeah, basically it would just like break the link and I would lose it, but it's alright. So yeah, so that's you know someone was like asking earlier that why I'm sculpting like in pose, because like one of the main reason I got like right now it's like since I know it's like it's in pose and I know like this stretching out, now I can clearly see, you know, instead of having it like in T pose, now I can see with the legs spread out, you know, how does it look, and like you know like I can just like rearrange my stuff to actually fit better with that pose. So like in straight pose it might not be as pretty, but at least right now I got like my piece in context, which I think it's easier to improve on the silhouette and the design when it's yeah, yeah, I love that comment. You bet. So that's why you know that's another thing that I didn't really do right now. But like one of the things that I like to do would be like to create a lot of seams. So at least it gives like a feeling that it's can be wear. One of the thing, like for this, I actually like, you know, started to think a little bit about it, and I think it would be like more kind of it 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 works more or less, but I mean, I think it would be like a, you know, like a Evangelion, like the girl with the red suit, she had like those, I think, bracelets where she just like turned them, and then whoosh, everything would actually just mold into her body. And I think like this could be like a suit like that, you know, like something that, or you know, something like a wetsuit, or and with all that, and who knows from what it's actually made. You know, it looks rigid, but it might be some kind of bending kind of plastic, or rubber, or, well, you know, sci-fi rubber, or high-tech rubber, I should say, you know. What I'm trying to figure out right now is just what kind of cool design should we do to attach this to the rest of the. And I don't want it like to look too fragile as well, but I mean, I guess. But yeah, having a character that can go to the bathroom, that's always an important thing. But you know, it's funny, but at the same time, I think he's definitely right. I mean, or is she definitely right? Seagull, are you a man or a woman? But yeah, I mean, like it's definitely something that because once more, it creates like that feeling of a okay, you know, that's a real man-made kind of suit. You know, it's not something that doesn't even work. Or that's another thing. Like even in my design, even if on this I actually took like some liberties, but usually I try like to keep it as functional, and that would like actually make sense. Yeah. Another thing that I'm trying like to do, it's really subtle, but some of the placements of those straps, I try to replicate the same direction as the muscle from the human body. You know, like the quadriceps, like basically they're going down this direction. That's a no-brainer. But I mean, like then after that, if you go down, like you know, those knobs, they're like pretty much on the iliac crest. You know, so usually it's like that bone sticking out from your hips. So yeah, I try like to, like in a really subtle way, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm taking a lot of liberties. I don't want it like to be, you know, like that's a replica of a human body. You know, it's like it's just but yeah, I just feel because once more, it's the human body is like so well engineered that it's there's no reason why not take a design cue for from you know thousands of years of evolution. Plus, I think it's still, you know, by doing this, you still keep that sexiness of the human form. Male or female doesn't matter. I think it just translates. And you know, and I think you can see like that like quite often. At I mean, what I'm talking about, I don't think that's nothing new for anyone. If you look at the characters from Overwatch, like I think they use like quite a bit of that technique. Even you know, in those characters, since they're like simplified, they they take advantage of that like a lot more. You want to wear it? Yeah. But yeah, sorry if it's for tonight, since once more it's my first stream, but I really like the experience. I like you. I think you guys are pretty awesome. You made my first stream memorable, and yeah, like I promised, like the next stream, you know, doesn't matter if it's on the Pixologics or mine, but along the way I'll get more used to it, and yeah, it will be like more natural and efficient to sculpt while having like viewers, which is something that I'm still getting good at. I just hope like for you it's not too boring. That's all. It's because like yeah, I didn't really speak about it like, but one of the main purpose that got me into Twitch is actually it's just like, you know, exactly like my friend earlier that was saying that you know, he was like tired to be alone doing freelance. It's just like, you know, I was like doing my own projects. I was like super into my own projects, but man, I felt like kind of lonely, you know. Well, not really lonely, but it's just like, you know, okay, I can sculpt in my basement alone my stuff and having like a lot of fun, but at the same time I can, you know, for me it doesn't really matter. Like I can just stream it and share it with people, and you know, at least, you know, I'll be doing the exact same thing as if I were alone, but it's just like at least I will be there chilling with other people, which to me like sounds pretty good. So and yeah, it's you know, there was like no reason really why not sharing with everyone what I was doing. Of course, like there's always the, you know, when you're an artist and you're showing off your stuff, and even right now, you know, like you're just like, oh man, I'm gonna look so bad, you know, people will think I'm a fraud or whatever. But to be honest with you, like I build up, I guess, enough confidence doing stream on my own, and even, you know, like I kind of, not that I'm like overconfident, but I kind of believe in my skills. I know that everything that I started like is like super shitty, and my secret recipe, it's only like I keep grinding it like crazy, you know. I will just like sculpt it and sculpt it and sculpt it up until actually I'm happy, and you know, most of the time like it always like comes out with something that I like. I just need like to spend like an awful amount of time. But, well, maybe not always, but I mean like it's basically, I know it's, you know, if I don't like it, I just need like to put more time into it. And yeah, it's pretty cool to be in a day and age where you can actually just sculpt from your home and be with people from all over the world. Learning in silence, yeah, I love it. Well, I know, as long as it's useful. And well, yeah, I'm just hoping you're not wasting your time, or you find it boring. That's all, you know. I like to do what I'm doing, but I don't know on your end if you're having as much of fun as I am right now. It's almost over. 4 minutes. Man, that was quick. That's the thing, like I really want to get you like more involved with my my sculpting. So definitely, like the next time that I'm streaming, we'll pick together which part I should work on next on this character, and then we'll go from there. I'll try new stuff, and yeah, like I've said, like I don't want to treat it like as a masterpiece or like something super special. You know, if you guys want to contribute, you know, you're welcome, and I'll try to do what I can to make it work. But yeah, I think it's easier when you remove that stressful constraint of oh, I need to make something pretty, or I know I'm like talking all the time about that, but yeah, I just feel like sculpting for personal projects should always be something relaxing. Well, yeah, actually, like the idea of not working alone came from Dave Raposa. Raposa. I hope I'm not like butchering his name with my friend French accent, but yeah, this guy, well, you know, a while back he started like a thing called Crimson Daggers, and I just thought it was like super cool. Like basically, it was like a way for him to practice. Like he wanted to practice 2D art or painting, and but he, like you know, doing it always alone was like kind of a boring, and he wanted like to have like consistency, like be like disciplined to actually do that, and basically he just started like his stream on Crimson Dagger, and like every morning people would join up, and he would actually have like pressure to show up because people would be like waiting for him like to practice with him. So I just thought like that was like a fantastic idea, and I'm not like trying to mimic that or anything, but it's just like, yeah, if at some point it would come like to this, so that's why like I was asking if you want to sculpt at the same time. I think that would be great, because that would be like a moment that we share. But on that, it was a great night. Thank you everyone. I had like a blast. I hope you had one too. And yeah, like just to say like quickly, like my streaming, it's gonna be back like on the mornings only, like at mid-February. I'm like so busy with work, like right now I'm kind of I don't really have the time. But yeah, like the stream on Thursday is gonna be there. Thursday night every week. So feel free to come by and say hello. So thanks a lot, guys. Once more. Bye bye. Have a good night.